again, it's Dory, and on today's episode of Ask Starbase, I'll be answering 2 questions about marine animals. The first question comes from Nemo. Nemo would like to know, how long do whales live? Great question. It all depends on the type of whale and where they are living. On average, whales living in the wild have longer lifespans. For example, in the wild, narwhals live for 40 to 60 years, blue whales live for 70 to 90 years, and the bowhead whale can live from 100 to over 200 years. Yes, you heard me right, 200 years. People have found bowhead whales with ivory harpoons embedded in their blubber from over 100 years ago. Studies conducted on their tissues have dated some whales at over 200 years old. However, these numbers can change dramatically if animals are living outside their normal habitat. Larger members of the whale family are so big humans cannot raise them in captivity, but smaller members of this group can be found in zoos and aquariums throughout the world. Whales, or Cetacea, are broken into 2 groups, the Mysticeti, or baleen whales, and the Odontoceti, or toothed whales. Many members of the Odontoceti are generally smaller, so we are more likely to see animals like belugas and dolphins outside of the ocean. When it comes to beluga whales in captivity, many of them have died before the age of 30, while others live to over 60 out in the wild. Orcas, which are the biggest dolphins, live an average of 30 to 50 years or as many as 90 in the ocean, while those living in captivity typically survive for 10 to 45 years. Common bottlenose dolphins live for an average of at least 40 years in the wild and about 28 to 29 in captivity. All this being said, some animals who have lived part of their lives in captivity were already sick or injured before being moved to a tank, so situations like these would have an impact on the average lifespans. On to our second question. Messy Nessie would like to know, how long do clownfish live? Well, according to the Berkshire Museum, they live 3 to 5 years in captivity and 6 to 10 in the wild. That being said, they could live as long as 30 years if they are really well taken care of by people. The tricky part is sometimes people who have clownfish do not provide the best care or environment for their fish to thrive. This matches up with a lot of the information I found on whales too. It's hard for an animal to stay strong and healthy if their needs aren't being met. Thanks for watching this episode of Ask Starbase, and a special thank you to Nemo and Messy Nessie for asking these questions. If you have a STEM question, please email it to ask@starbase-ct.com, or you can submit it on our website, starbase-ct.com, and we'll answer it as soon as we can. Stay safe and be well. Bye!